Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on board flight TM016. This is your captain speaking. I'm with my co-pilot Tim Hauser. We are about to prepare for takeoff using runway critical thinking. Fasten your seatbelt, put your seats in an upright position, close your overhead storages, and get ready for the takeoff. Today we are discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly aspects of marriage in our South African society. Very, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about this one, brother?
I was looking forward to this one for the obvious reasons. You know, a relationship really give us tough time. Relationships are a serious tough time. So I know in the good, the bad, and the ugly, there's more to say about the ugly and less about the good.
Mm-hmm.
And even reasonably more about the bad as well, you know. So I know much of what we have at the back of our minds is not an excitement of talking about the good, it's an excitement of talking about the bad. But what I've realized generally is that globally, internationally speaking,
mm-hmm.
we have a mentality of entertaining undesirable things. So yeah, look, if you look, content that really pops, I'm a content where we are discussing a relationship, who cheated, who's cheating and how they are cheating and who has been played and whatnot. You know, those things, they get traction and they get interest and they get all the nice things that you would want to see in terms of numbers. So most discussions that people have, and those discussions have a lot to do with people either not doing well, they are failures, discussing. So I'm still wondering why are we drawn towards such? You know, maybe it's a reflection of which generally so I want to see who else.
No, I think it's in human nature generally to be more excited by drama than the good reality of things that exist.
But why? That's the question.
It's human nature.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what activates the human nature? Because we just can't limit it at the fact that we are walking. We know it's human nature to walk, but there is a brain that activates it, and there are muscles, there are bone structures, you know. And there's formation and composition of certain aspects that allow us to stand upright and walk. We can scientifically explain.
You can explain
the phenomenon of walking.
Yes.
So I want us to, maybe not now, of course, we are stimulating something which maybe it needs to come into our discussion, which as a topic, as a destination.
It would be an interesting topic because a lot of things are coming to my head.
What's the subject?
We'll find it next week.
Why are we
drawn to drama? Yeah. Let's just say drawn to drama topic. You will come up with good words. Drawn to drama.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. No. That was my check-in. At least it brought about.
Yeah. Okay. Back to our flight today. I think my head was a bit overwhelmed. I was digesting too much at the same time because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about how good that topic would be, and then trying to maintain my place in the topic for today. We will now start with a route map where we describe, give the definition to what our view is or what marriage is, and then we'll follow our route plan as per usual. We'll start with the good, the bad, the ugly, and then our.
Yeah, let me present the journey map. Is that we will go to the definition, which is / context. What is marriage? What do we understand about the institution?
Okay.
What do we understand it to be? You know, from how it's described maybe on paper to what we perceive it to be, our own perception. And then we will definitely go to the meat immediately. There's very little foreplay, you know, straight to it. The good, what's the good aspects, and we discuss the good aspects, and then we discuss the bad aspects, we discuss the ugly, they are interconnected, the bed and the ark. It's how you want to look at it. Maybe we will also define the separation line.
Mm-hmm.
What do we mean in essence about the bed? What's the difference between the bed and the ark? I've already got a pitch in mind about that. And then we go to our desktop to validate and provide any other insights on the stats. I think I've got something very interesting, or we have something rather that we've discussed very interesting in that space. Some stats, unlike your typical stats. We'll get to it. And then 1 minute pitch. My 1 minute pitch is, because we're going to be talking about what is marriage. And then in my 1 minute pitch, I'm going to share what is not, what I believe it's not. So I'll take the...
Yeah, my 1 minute pitch would be on what I believe it is.
Yeah. But much of it would have already been discussed. You're going to summarize.
I'm going to summarize my view on the positives of
what you think
marriage. Yeah.
And then take home, and then we descend, and then we tell you our next stop.
Exactly.
So that's that. Not sure if you want to open up for the context.
When it comes to definition of marriage, my view is very straightforward. Marriage is a very complex institution, and it's shaped by a lot of factors. So for me, marriage is an alliance between two people, a male and a female, who are breathing in a certain rhythm that finds and needs for these two people to connect and build something together.
And make it work.
And in addition to that, build a spider web around themselves. The two of them, they coil each other up to make one existence from two human beings. That's my take.
Yeah, look, 3 areas to define it: the cultural, the spiritual/religious, and then the legal. Right? Those, if you put them together, they come to give you a sense of what marriage is. Culturally, it is said that it is not about 2 people; it's about even extended families.
Of course.
So culturally, if we look at it from, let's say, closer home, it's Zulu culture that I am familiar with, other than other ethnicities.
Yeah.
So in the Zulu culture, ngembeswana ingodusi yezwe yamkelwe, umkhenya namkelwe, yabona kube other traditional aspects like yabona inyongo and gifts, but by and large you are introducing one family to the other, but there are people that lead that union as husband and wife.
Okay.
So I guess that is espoused in other culture, in other cultural or other ethnicities, and it's also about continuity. It also covers the aspiration of a lineage.
Yes.
That's why in some ancient cultures it was important that we bloodline and you come across to these ideas where they say if you are a queen or if you are a prince, you would need to get into a bloodline that will be your extension. So they're commoners and the royal. So you want the royal blood. So there's issues of continuity and believing that your blood is superior than the commoners.
Okay,
what's
your view on, before I give you mine, what's your view on colonial history as one of the elements that are shaping marriage to be what it is in some of the people?
No, look, it's exactly what you're explaining, because we are aware that there's a religious, spiritual aspect to the marriage and there's legal. So the colonial involvement or existence shaped the legal aspects of marriage, which is what we're going to discuss now.
Okay.
Yeah. So on cultural aspects, I mean, the diary, like is a diary, in lobola.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I just know the lobola.
And the lobola and consent and union of a larger group than two. That's the essence, the cultural.
Yeah, you know, when you marry someone, you don't just marry that woman, you marry the family as well.
Yeah, I mean, in the modern spaces or modern or urban areas, even in the rural, or say advanced governance in our countries, like in our case. So you register even the cultural marriage.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
There's, which we're going to touch. We legal definition. So spiritually is actually the covenant. The words that describe the rest of it is covenant, which is sanctified by God or ancestors or divine law. From Islam, Hinduism, Judaism, African spirituality to Christianity, it holds the same meaning, you know. So that's basically that on spirituality. It's got far more than the two people and I mean over and above the union of a families and the two groom and bride, right? There's a divine intervention. So there's an introduction of the third dimension in the spiritual sense. Whether spiritually, whether that of Christianity, of Buddhism, or other type,
or any other type,
but also including ancestry.
Okay, nicely done, nicely put.
Yeah.
Let's move on to
the legal.
The legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's three types in the legal definition in South African terms: civil, which is the civil, customary, and the civil union. Civil marriages, which is Marriage Act of 1961. And then customary marriage is under Customary Marriage Act year 1998, 61 and 98, and then civil union, including same-sex marriages.
Oh, I was about to ask that. Okay, I understand the civil marriages.
Yeah.
It's more on the white culture, white wedding, and all of that.
It's 2006.
Yeah, and then I understand the customary marriage. I was not sure about the civil union, but
if you want to remember, when was it enacted? The civil union is 4 years before World Cup. 2010 World Cup, before Philip.
Yeah, which was a very big mistake.
Not really.
Yeah, in my view,
okay,
but I guess it's an issue for another day.
Yeah, no, it's gonna come into the act.
Yeah.
Just hold on to it.
Yeah, yes.
It's gonna come.
Yes, it's gonna come. It's gonna come.
I'm just yeah. So there's contractual issues in the legal aspect, and in the legal aspect, it's mainly about locking yourself in terms of assets.
Yeah, I think the legal part is also linked to the inheritance of assets and how to protect it.
Yeah.
The legal aspect plays a very, very good role.
Yeah, it's about reciprocal rights and duties, exactly. Which is debts, property ownership, inheritance.
Yeah, it creates balance between conflicts or separation. So it
manages separation
more than individuals themselves.
Or more than coming together.
Okay.
Literally, it's there to manage. Once you separate, this is what's going to happen. Yes. That's why there's antenatal thing, incommutal property.
Yeah.
And the out of community with accrual or without accrual. Right? So ANC, it really, for me, it 90% it does not really deal with the inception and the in-betweens of union, but it focuses what should you go separate ways. How do you custodianship and who gets what and how do they get it?
Have you
so already it has decided what you want to go separate ways.
I was about to say that, Uguti.
Voluntary.
If you look at the differences between the two, right?
Between the two what?
Between the two marriages.
Yeah.
Never mind the same-sex one, right? What's that? Civil marriage and customary. Ne?
Yeah.
There are certain basics, standards that do not exist on customary, which exist as an standard as an SOP on the civil marriages.
Yeah.
Customary marriages, there is no discussion about separation. For as long as I've known it, I've never had anyone who.
It's more. Sorry, adding. There's a two angle. There's pessimistic, which is being negative. There's a more likely situation. There's optimistic. If customer is optimistic, would there won't be separation?
There shouldn't be separation.
Yeah, it doesn't plan for it.
It does not.
It doesn't entertain it.
It doesn't at all.
It's more optimistic. It's positive.
Yeah.
Whereas the legal, it's pessimistic and already assuming and anticipating.
And the existence of that element in the human brain, psychologically,
I totally agree.
It's going to affect you.
I'll be honest with you, I've never thought of this aspect until now. To be quite honest with you, the pessimistic outlook and the optimistic outlook of formation from customary to union, you know. So let's talk about this while we are at it. I want us to look at the perceptions, the expectations, and the ignorance. Right? These are just three criteria that I want us to use just to close definition in a What are the typical perception of what marriage is that you think?
Firstly, the typical perception from the woman's side, I'll just do them separately.
Gender.
Yeah, gender. From the woman's side, the perception is about the day. How beautiful the day should be, what kind of a gown will I be wearing on the day, who is going to be attending on the wedding, and how organized, the success of the event. I think from a female's perspective, it's more into that part. And then on a male's perspective, perception, it's about order in my life, proper support system, proper family structure, which opens up the platform of progress.
And continuity.
And it's basically, from a man's perspective, I think, it's about progression. As a unit, as a family, and in alliance with social norms as well. That's my point.
That's quite an interesting observation. And then it's a good observation. I have to add. Perception is that what women perceive, they perceive a day, so it's short run. Men perceive continuity, which is long run.
Long run, yes, sir.
Right. So which is quite a conflicting.
It is, yes, because it's a very unfair focus from the female side. This thing is so complex and it involves so much in it. And I understand the excitement of the day. It exists by human nature. It has to be there. It's needed. It has to be there. But I would make a recommendation if I had to advise my daughter or my sister or my cousin about the female contribution in terms of perception of the marriage. I would create an awareness that don't only focus on
the event,
look deeper look beyond the day, because the alliance needs a lot of work.
It's a process.
It's a bigger process, and it's a never-ending process for as long as you're married to each other.
Nice. And then the ignorance. What things do you think define our ignorance about the marriage?
Our ignorance.
But first, let's find each other on ignorance. What do you think ignorance is?
Ignorance to me is
it's being naive.
Being naive and
having less knowledge.
And thinking that this marriage is the size of your head is a bigger problem.
Yeah, the definition of ignorance. So, yeah, what are the ignorance aspects that you think you have experienced? From
females, I would say they misunderstand the importance of cultural existence within the alliance of marriage as black people.
We've ignored that.
Yes. And with the males, okay, the cultural existence in the marriage favors males more.
Mm-hmm.
And
bias to males.
Yes. And then the male misunderstand the power the culture have within the marriage and tend to abuse it or misuse that dominance that they have over females when it comes to the cultural element of marriages.
Yeah, I think my contribution to ignorance is that we ignore the power dynamics and we have less knowledge about the power dynamics, and which brings us to expectations, the last dimension. That then with ignorance comes unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, and ignorance makes you blind.
If you ignore the dynamics of power, you then expect to be maybe received in a particular manner, and you find that it's not the case, right? You are not the brightest bulb in the auditorium.
No, that is a big problem.
Yeah. So ignorance leads to unrealistic expectations. That's my take on summing up.
And there is something else that is a big contributor to ignorance. The upbringing of individuals play a major role in how you conduct yourself when you are older in that position of marriage. I'll give you a typical example. If, for an example, you date a lady who has always been told from the young age to the time when she had to leave home that she is the prettiest, she's the smartest, she is the queen, she is
overinflated self of sense.
So you see the upbringing and how the parents or the environment or the situation that that person was exposed in has a big impact in the later stages of life. Because when you meet that person and you are in a process of, let's say maybe after marriage, while you are married, with that very same person who was not used to hardship, who has always seen herself as a queen, when you get to a point where now you're facing challenges in life as a couple, it can be emotional, physical, or financial. The resistance to the challenge is less from people who were brought up thinking that they are the cream of the crop.
Okay.
That's a reality I've seen, I've witnessed, and it works. That's why it is a big contributor to divorce. When people engage, that's misunderstandings, that when people are flowing on the same frequency, right? They decide to get married. They never make enough efforts to look at the seed, which is, let's look at your upbringing and how can this upbringing benefit us, or how can it be managed, or how can it be addressed and solved if it's got a negative impact. We hardly talk about that as couples. So the complexity of marriage gives me an awareness that something so complex will invite the devil's attention.
Yeah, no, it creates a gap.
It will invite
being attacked. Yeah,
it will invite the devils, because the devil is an opportunist. He looks for lack of togetherness, he looks for anything negative amongst individuals or marriage or whatever. Yes. So if your devil is ignoring your marriage, you must know you're done. It's over. But if the devil keeps coming back to your marriage and your alliance to check if you are strong enough together, are you willing to
always be tested?
You will always be tested. So while the devil is still testing you, it means there's something you're doing right.
Okay. No, that's I guess we can. That's acceptable. Very interesting. And just for the sake of time, let's go to the good.
Family stability is my number one on the list for the good.
Yeah.
And then second to that would be cultural identity.
Yeah.
And then after
identity,
cultural identity.
Identity. Yeah.
Yes. And then thirdly from that would be economical cooperation
and security. Yes.
Those are the first three for me, which are a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Because when you look at a single guy, let's took same age, a single guy at 40 and a married guy at 40, the way of thinking is different. I think marriage it speeds up the process of maturity. Because learning to live with another human being of another mother and father, but be with you in the same house,
different background,
and live, sleep, wake up every day with that very same person. It does not come easy, it does not come cheap, it does not come without effort, it does not come without any form of thinking. So the good for me on marriage is the unseen. You can't see maturity. It has to be displayed, it has to be experienced. You know, I take this example from a personal experience that I matured better. I took out, my take home from that marriage was the positives, that I was able to do right without being told and monitored, because I knew there is this human being who's watching over me to do right. And I didn't want to be corrected before I do wrong. I hated that. Don't yell at me until you see the wrong that is done.
Yeah.
So then I chose that, let me do right without being told or monitored, to manage this noise coming from the lady. And then responsibility. Your responsibility level enhances in marriage. Because you know there has to be food in the house. You are the man of the house. You know, it's a self-inflicted good habit that you will have a list of all these responsibilities that is expected out of you. The food of the house, making sure that the house is clean inside, outside, and making sure that there's water, there's electricity, the basic needs should be covered. So once you do that very frequently, the snowball effect is that you become habitually a person who wants to be responsible and take charge of good things to happen. Stability. And then thirdly, it's the sexual satisfaction.
The pleasures.
Sexual pleasure in a very comfortable marriage. Sexual pleasure enhances other factors. When you have a good sex life in your marriage, you become creative. You look forward to go to work. You look forward to certain things. You have reason to live. You have reason to love. You have a reason to look forward to things. And then another good part of the marriage is the reproduction. When there's kids involved, offsprings and all of that, which ignite a certain frequency of love. The frequency of love for your wife is completely different from the frequency of love for your children. Those are two different frequencies, and they will never be on the same level. The frequency of kids, I think it's more heavier than the frequency of your wife. Because once you become, I remember when I first became a father, there is something I felt which I've never felt, or no other woman has made me feel that way when I had my clothes on.
I get the analogy.
You get the analogy. When my daughter was born, there was a certain satisfaction which I did not plan, which I did not know.
Did not anticipate.
And I did not anticipate, but it gave me an element of inner peace that you are now a father. And I was now entertaining the thoughts of being responsible, being a good father, so all these positive things.
The child is born in wedlock, so born in marriage setup.
No. My firstborn was born out of. I got married after she was born.
So meaning people don't have to be married to experience that feeling. Generally,
yes. Yeah. Generally, and if both parties are willing to engage in that kind of an alliance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've summarized the goat. I don't know if you want to add.
No, I haven't said anything.
No, I'm giving you a chance.
I'm just making you aware. He as a pit bull and unleash me. Look, much of what you said is key, right? It would be the use of. It could be semantics for me, which is use of language. Like my number one on top of the list, it's I don't see any other institution that can shape your character like marriage. Marriage can make you or break you, right?
Okay.
But its intention is to elevate you to a better version of yourself. It provides an environment and an atmosphere where you have to listen to your emotions almost every second.
Okay.
So the anger aspects and the happiness aspects are recorded in real time.
Okay.
You understand? And it provides these experiences that as a bachelor or a bacheloress you won't have in full context. Right? If you want to meet yourself, I recommend that you get married. You will be introduced to yourself in a way that typically it wouldn't be. You get what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
Again, it's important to also identify, if we have to make just a general analysis, that the best performing individuals, male or female, are they in marriage or outside of, or not married? So you can check who are your best performers of male or female. Let's say your best performer in terms of riches. I mean, that's the only thing that we can subject success to. It's money. So the most people who are successful, majority of them are married. Right? Like marriage, like not to say in a fat and sex situation. Because there's a difference between fat and sex.
No, there's a huge difference. I agree with you on that one.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Psychological.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
There's a very, very huge difference.
So my good is that personally what I'm enjoying about the marriage it's the identity and the sense of belonging
that you get out of it.
Yeah, that I get out of it. I've never felt I needed to. It was a time when I was a bachelor. In the amount of calls I would make just to friends, to cousins, to parents, have lessened since I'm married, because I have a sense of belonging. I immerse myself.
That's a very, 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 very important and good point.
Yeah.
I have never thought of it that way.
Yes, it gives fulfillment.
And I've never thought of it that way.
When people, before you come in, people can question the type of marriage. I don't have if we have to score, my marriage is from 1 to 10. I don't have a 10 type of marriage, to be quite honest.
No one has a 10,
yeah.
I doubt.
So I'm not saying it's a 10, but I'm saying it gives me enough to have a sense of belonging. It's them first before anyone else.
And you know what it does to me?
And the motivation, the level of motivation that I get from waking up and doing the best and making the best of yourself and be the best version of yourself.
Oh,
apart from aesthetics, like a bachelor helped me to groom myself. I always look sharp.
Okay.
I might not look sharp and properly groomed,
but self-care is a priority.
But self-care and my balance and it's on top far more than it's at its peak. So for that goodness in it, it's recommended. It doesn't matter. Sometimes which we're gonna get into it, the bad and the ugly.
Yeah, the bad.
The kind of partner that you choose. Remember, you chose. In this day and age, it's not like it's forced marriage. So you can complain, and apparently forced marriage are successful than the traditional methods of securing a partner.
I am not sure about those states.
I've came across to information that suggests forced marriage.
You're talking about arranged marriage.
They last longer.
Okay.
Success, it means they last longer than.
Logically thinking, an arranged marriage has other factors that.
Sorry, let me let you.
Yeah, I'm trying to put reason to.
I've got an interesting one.
To the reason why
they are successful.
Yes. I'm looking at the surrounding factors on an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Firstly, there's a financial benefit. Usually, it's a business transaction.
That's the good part generally. Yeah, women benefit more than men in that part.
Yeah. And then secondly, it would be the reality of loss with the alliance is more than the benefit of staying together on arranged marriages most of the time, and they always have external forces looking over to make sure that it becomes a success. There's enough resources outside of it to make it work.
Possibly, highly possible, but I think over and above, it's the dimension that came in now as we are discussing, so stimulation.
Okay.
This is my logic, is that the expectations, the perceptions, right, that comes with forced marriage, it's different than the expectations and the perceptions that comes with what's the opposite. Let's say self-arranged.
Okay.
Self-arranged marriage.
Self-arranged.
Yeah, for a lack of a better word. In your idea already, you are going, because this person, you did not have any aspirations to love them or to be with them. So already the battle is that you need to work towards understanding and knowing them. You already have the issue that is going to be tough.
Habitually, you switch
the toughness, the perception is going to be tough. And on the other side, the perception is that it's going to be Hanalulu. So the psychology of expecting battles and the psychology of expecting no battles, it's different.
It's the law of anticipation.
Yes. So
that
you find the opposite.
It simplifies the logic. I think it simplifies the logic.
It's the analogy to simplify my thinking. When you go into the battle, right, of marriage, not of literally combat, or what you are expecting to be tough, and you are not surprised when things are tough. Instead, you work towards making them better because of the level of commitment that you have. As such, the longevity then comes in place. On the other side, you expect to be looked after, to be taken, to be treated like a king on a queen, and then only to find the reality does not accommodate that. Then give up. So I guess that's the.
It's a very interesting view actually. I've never looked at it that way as well. So while we're in the making, we learn and we discover things.
So
What about the bad?
The bad. Let's first separate the bad and the ugly. The bad, in my view, are things that from ignorance, they will be created.
All right.
The ugly, you cook them.
Let's separate the bad and the ugly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm saying in bad, it's you don't really what's the word? Deliberately create it.
Okay.
It's perception that you had that is wrong.
All right.
Expectations that are unrealistic. So when you are not met, then you get angry, then it creates the bad. But in the ugly, you say this one is done 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to. You then deliberately plan and anticipate what's going to happen.
You know the outcome.
So it's the bad that is deliberate. The deliberate is the ugly is the deliberate bad.
Yeah, I know. The ugly is not very comfortable. But
let's start with the bad.
Let's start with the bad.
Commonly, the common aspect is that with your expectations, you expect to culturally to be treated like ubaba, like the Zulu culture is, and then someone must come to you and be your stomach. She must be your stomach. She must know when you're hungry. And she must then come and feed you when you're hungry, and feed your kids, and give you PJs to be censored there. And you must get the pleasures, right? So 3 happy chemicals that we once touched on: endorphin, oxytocin, and dopamine. So those are the 3 happy chemicals in your body. So you get them sometimes. I mean, oxytocin is the more you are giving gratification, you are giving attention, you feel good. That's what you get. When you are loved and you are attracted to someone, and you get endorphin. And when dopamine comes in, it's the reward of doing certain things. So the bad is when those chemicals are shut down, and sometimes not deliberately. It's because of your unrealistic expectation, right? You're expected to be treated like your father, well, how your mother treated your father, and you forget good things evolve. So your wife cannot come back from work and ask you to baba and come and put Tama next to you and give you food. Also, there's food in the oven, and then that's it. And you must sit to eat how you get the food. Or, I haven't done much, can you quickly organize or chop something for us? You know, I'm just making an example.
I understand your example.
So the dissatisfaction because your expectations were not met creates the ugly.
Okay.
Right? The body changes. So if you went into a marriage primarily for sexual pleasure, that I am going to get it every day. Wow, the PJs are raining. And then over time she gets to have kids, and the factory of PJs yavan. Shut down, literally shut down. Like it's not up for discussion. So the pleasures factory is compromised.
Yeah, it's compromised.
You understand?
Yeah.
And the schedule of getting sexual intercourse, it gets minimal. So now you must negotiate. Now you must plan for it. Now you must have it in the calendar. And before that, it would happen anywhere, anytime, anyhow.
Okay.
So that those bring the serious bad about it.
Yeah, no.
And because there's also chemical imbalances that women go through.
Go through as women. Naturally.
Yeah.
So biologically.
Yeah.
So
menopause is aspect of it.
Menstruations and all these.
That's why you'll find a divorce in the 40s.
Yeah, there's more divorce in the 40s.
Yeah. Because of these chemical
hormonal changes, which is
the bad part of it. Because if bad, it's when things happen and you don't have an idea why,
and you don't have a possible solution.
It's not about being selfish. You're not selfish. You're doing everything right. You are coming on time. You are not
eating the right food.
Every weekend
you are drinking water.
But things
are not saying. It's very tough.
That's very sad.
It's very tough. I think women deserve chocolates every month just for the toughness.
To wear high heels, and wear a string underwear, and have bras tightening and have weaves. All those things.
Imagine the heat.
That's too much. That's too much.
A bra the whole day at work for 8 hours.
That's why
that's suffocation.
When they take it off, they throw it away. The shoes, they kick the shoes away. The weave, it's almost at some point.
It's like the last day she's wearing that weave. It looks like that.
It's very tough to be a woman.
Okay, my view is completely different. About the bad and the ugly.
No, then we are in the bed yet, isn't it?
We're still in the bed. Yeah, we'll get to the ugly. My view is that the bad, unorthodox, necessary in order to jump to a state of peaceful alliance between the two of you. You can't get to that smooth. It's like a cruising phase. Before you get to the cruising phase, I need you to take off. And on the takeoff,
the turbulence.
There's turbulence, there's bait strikes, there's so many things that could affect. So the bet for me is the necessary things that must happen in order for you to reach the cruising altitude. Because look at conflicts. Look at the benefit of conflicts between a man and a woman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The conflicts, if both people are in a positive mindset to absorb things that are unfamiliar and are told or maybe are exposed to the power of conflicts, that conflicts actually are necessary because they help you jump to the next stage. Because once we have a conflict, I'll be able to know the line in between us that I must not jump. I'll be able to know, Uguti, you don't blow low in a boxing match. It's a rule, it's a principle, but you can't understand that principle without a conflict. We must have a conflict first.
It's a necessary war.
Yeah, it's a necessary war, Uguti. Once you go under, then we know, Uguti, disqualified or points reduction or whatever the penalty is. So I convert that logic into relationships when it comes to conflict. There is a lot of good that comes out of conflict. So hence I'm saying, number one, bad that is necessary to get to the cruising phase is the conflicts. And then we come to...
Before you continue, the existence of the bad, it's one thing that I understand you are saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to make an example, what sort of conflicts you think are necessary for us to get into the cruising altitude?
Let's talk about selfishness, right? Some people are selfish because of upbringing. People are selfish because of many different reasons, right? You get into a marriage, that element of selfishness is still within your traits. And sometimes you become selfish, not aware that it's landing as a selfish action on the other part. So when the other party fights back in any selfish action from you, that will create a conflict. And then you get an opportunity to discuss the conflict that, okay, I don't like when you do 1, 2, 3. It lands on me like a selfish choice or a selfish response. And then once they make you aware about how your behavior lands on their platform, then you also get to look at your introspect. That, okay, how can I change the landing on the other side to avoid this kind of conflict, because it's not necessary for us to be in conflict for something. It's not good for us to treat each other this way. So for peace sake, the power in that word, for peace sake, we'll talk about it another time. So for peace sake, you get into that conflict, you understand.
You surrender.
You surrender yourself, because obviously you want peace. You surrender yourself, and then you change the strategy on how your point in that particular content or aspect lands on the other part.
Yeah, look, you have switched me to the ugly, right? And I've really realized, which we want to conclude the realization. Just remind me of the realization if I forget. The ugly for me are the evil aspects.
Yeah, and they're totally different from the bad.
Yeah, they are. If bad is just a question of learning. I think I take your point where you say it's necessary. It's how, when I learn the person that you are, the bad is going to happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying the bad manifests because of getting to know each other.
Getting to know each other, yes.
It's ugly.
No, it's deliberate.
It's evil aspect.
It's evil.
Ugly is from. It's the deliberate need to serve your own selfish agenda
and to make sure you inject suffering as much as you can to the other part.
Yeah, so people who master it are narcissistic to bring the ugly.
In most cases, narcissist human beings they thrive to react with ugly. They don't respond.
Yeah, no.
Because if he responds,
it's preconceived.
He ugly, I in a positive thought process.
Yeah.
It's a reaction.
Let me make an example. Be ugly. Be ugly. It's when you have habits that you came with in the and one typical habit is infidelity. Or remember when we were talking about who play coffee.
Yes.
And then the term that I needed, infidelity. I've used the wrong term. I looked at it and I thought, whoa, Jesus Christ. So the term that I needed for that thing, they asked Kofi, was there any infidelity?
Any infidelity. You were looking, yeah. I remember that.
But I used something that explained that, but it's not a very appropriate term. But anyway, so the most evil thing that you'll find in marriage, right, it's that part. Because when you go to monogamy, relationship, you are only signing up for being in one partner. Not unless you are open up for polygamy.
Look, I have a friend who's married to 2 wives.
Yeah.
He's the only friend I know who's officially married
openly.
Officially and openly.
Yeah.
So there's 2 homes.
Yes.
Umamkulu has her home with her kids. Mamani has a home. So he switches between these 2 homes.
Yeah.
And when he leaves here to the other, he informs.
I mean, the beauty about polygamy is that in any case, you are not necessarily, and I guess it's a myth, or you are satisfying the imbalance of numbers of women. 1. 2, you are, as maybe I don't think that's a good explanation. I mean, I believe men go into polygamy for 90% for sexual pleasure, to satisfy their sexual beast.
Okay. It's not only about sexual...
It's my perception, it's not a validated fact.
Yeah, no, I understand very well.
I know the demon that exists in every man. So I was saying, actually, going back to what I was saying, you come with a habit, right? And you want to satisfy these habits in marriage. And you find ways to satisfy them. So it means you must then, what? Cheat. Not literally, deliberately. So it means you must lie, you must be evasive, right? Yeah. So with so doing, then you are deliberate in creating dysfunctionality. It's preempted, it's deliberate. So it creates the ugly environment for the kids, for the families,
for the kids.
It creates a very
let me give you an example of the bad that happened in the scenario I was making. The bad happened in order for the good to happen.
Yeah.
So before he officially presented the second girlfriend that he wants to make this woman the second wife to the first wife, the first wife issued divorce. They separated. They had to divide assets. They had to. It was a mess.
They went through the ugly.
They went through the ugly, and then, God willing, and what happened was, when she realized, Uguti, I was a queen. I left my position to be a side chick, which is what I don't want.
It does not add up.
It does not add up. So luckily, she was smart enough to identify the differences while it was still soon, and while she still had a chance to appeal the initiation.
To reverse.
Yeah, to reverse.
Yeah.
So
the situation.
He accepted the divorce and let her live with whatever she wanted.
Yeah, you can have what you want.
You can have whatever you want. But I'm making you aware that I'm marrying this one, and once I marry this one, she will be queen, and I'm going to take another one, and this one is already agreed, which she does not mind as long as we can afford. So she came back with thunder to claim her throne.
That's a realization.
Yeah, she came back, and now the peace they have is the peace they have because of what happened.
That ugly situation.
The bad and ugly situation.
I mean, the quick one, just to sum up this for the sake of time, sugar and
coffee
and nut. It's the same thing. There are people, and I'm also siding with them, who Endle was not supposed to really bail out, right?
Yes.
But I know Uti pride yake, it's intact, and she's a modern woman.
Okay.
You don't allow. I guess nama errors ayenzwe unati now, they were too much. I think if there was cheating without babies, she wouldn't have left. You know? One or two, one is a mistake, two it's deliberate.
I think it's unfair, and I don't stand to be corrected on this one. It's a strong belief I have, whether right or wrong, from with another person's view. You can't be a woman and expect a rich man to spend time with you alone. It's not possible.
I don't think it has ever happened.
No, it's a rich man to stick with one woman. It's not gonna happen. It's unrealistic.
A rich man is a magnet of top grade women.
And
so how much resistance
before we get there, saying no as men to something that is your spec,
enticing, and it's a very difficult.
I'm not saying it's not possible.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
It's the most difficult thing.
It is. But to say no to your spec,
yeah,
that is the way you.
Serious.
It is the way you want it to be in all
every level.
In every level.
Yeah, look, I'll be quite honest.
It's tough.
I know maybe if my wife is going to watch this one, but she doesn't watch these things, which is a good thing. She doesn't see value into these things. But if this mistake happens, she has to forgive me. It's very, very, very difficult to ignore the sexual desires that comes with fantasies and that comes with being sexually or hypersexualized, which is one of the destinations that we want to go into. I'm going to expand on what do I mean by being hypersexualized and what are the psychological impact of that. And that on its own, once you have done so many repetitions and many prompts in your head about sexuality and how you want to navigate it, it becomes a very dangerous thing. It really creates the ugly inside marriage. So I mean, we're not talking here about managing the ugly. We're just expressing what the ugly is. I guess one thing that I suggested with myself, I'm not going to go to marriage and put sex into top 10. It must be number 11, and I must find other 10 things that are important. So if it's not there in the way that I would so want to have it, my world is not over. That's the decision I took long before.
Which is a good decision.
I realized I cannot go there with that mentality.
Yeah, it's a good decision.
I'm a damaged goods when it comes to sexual ideas and perception. I'm damaged. And beyond recovery, let me put it that way. I'm messed up. I'll be quite frank with you. I mean, the things that I think that people don't know are very crazy things, you know. So I know I'm not alone. That's why I'm.
No, you're not. That's why I'm laughing.
That's why I'm bold to tell you it's bad. But these demons, they're the ones that really perpetuate the ugly. I mean, for the sake of time, I guess.
Yeah, let's go straight to ugly. But I think we've touched on it. There's something we didn't touch on the ugly.
What is it?
It's the domestic violence that comes with the ugly.
Yeah.
The HIV and AIDS.
The
disease part of the ugly.
Suffering of children.
Yeah, the disease and the violence. And that one is a no-no.
And fragmented.
It's a no-no. I think when I grew up, I've always been told that don't fight with someone who's weaker because it means you are not sharp.
Yeah.
When you want to fight, choose an opponent that can challenge you back. It's worth fighting, yeah. I'm against domestic violence at all.
Thanks for stretching this a little bit. There's a dimension that I had at the back of my mind. Right, Uguti. You remember I said to remind me, Uguti, there's an idea that I had. So two. One is that the ugly can graduate you to the bad and the bad can graduate you to the good.
Yeah, that's a very good.
You can start with the good and go to the ugly. The graduation from the ugly to the bad,
to the bad, to the good,
all the way to the good, or the back and
or the other way around.
The back and forth of it. I just wanted to add the second dimension. I guess I've lost my
chain of thought.
Yeah, chain of thought.
But you were still talking about the graduation from.
Yeah, it was the graduation, and there was something else that I wanted to add that you helped me. That's why I said thank you for stretching this thing.
Yes, my stretch was on two things: domestic violence and HIV and AIDS. I don't know how.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Maybe it's not meant to be. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure what you. I think that's basically.
Yeah, I know. That must be avoided at all costs because of the outcomes of those things. You know, there's jail involved in domestic violence. There's death if you
oh yes, I remembered. Sorry, I remembered.
What's
the additional thing? It's there's an argument about which is they say dating up and dating down.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I did entertain these things, but I realized maturity doesn't know high and low. As a man, you could say my wife or my girlfriend or my spouse is not at the reasoning capacity I want it to be, so that's why we don't get along.
Okay.
But there's another demand that is made to a husband or a male figure to a relationship of the kind that we're talking about, is to cultivate those that you live with, right? Cultivating, it's planting seeds that will help them blossom.
Exactly. That is very, very important in a marriage.
Yes. So that thing of saying you don't have a compatible partner, yes, we can argue it, we can debate it, but I hold a different view. When you say someone is not compatible, it means when you are well developed, you are well trained, your intellect is on point, and you are high in sexual fact, and she's somewhere else, whether you are a male or a female.
You know, I agree with you on that point, because my belief is that reciprocity needs effort.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with levels. Because what I've learned in marriage, in life, is that you can be high and the other partner could be low, but then only to find that his emotional intelligence in terms of relationships is way higher than your degree or your doctorate. So
the intelligence or the smart, it's in different facets of life.
Yes.
It's not only on academia.
Yeah, so my point, sorry to cut you off, I just wanted to add this before I lose it. I'm against differentiating on human beings by academic achievements only.
Yeah.
No,
or knowledge.
Not only academics or finances.
Yeah.
Differentiating with material things is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because the coin can flip at any time.
I could be the best gatherer or hunter, meaning I can bring buffaloes.
Yes.
Right? As in money-wise.
Yeah.
In the household.
In the household.
I can have a wife that is giving. Far more than I am. So meaning we want to gather and bring home. She'll
That's
be able
a good combination.
She'll be able to
She'll be able to much better than you.
Much better than you would. And with that distribution, add value because of them connecting to Mother Nature for grace and mercy.
So it means you agree with me that
yes, I was amplifying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If after that exchange of information and knowledge, you did not subscribe, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. I give up. Where else have you heard that kind of an engagement and that kind of an exchange in 5 seconds and have a solid?
Nuggets. So, but
anyway,
we were wrapping up on the good and the bad and the ugly. I guess I'm happy that we put efforts in all dimensions. We were not biased into one aspect. We gave the good enough important information, which the bad had, which the ugly had. But even the level of intensity in our pitch, I feel it was balanced. Not unless you think otherwise, you can just comment. And now the desktop. Let's get to
let's get to the desktop.
Let's get to the desktop. We started in this way, right? Our thing is that there's moving from 2021 to 2023. Remember, 2025, the recent ones, the data has not yet been collected enough, So we'll go with the data from 2021, 22, 23. It gives us a picture, nonetheless.
It's good enough.
Yeah, the changes that happen in 24 and 25 are not quite much to pay.
And there's a high element of relevance in those periods, because it's not your normal period. Something else happened during that period.
Yes, and there's the count. There's a divorce count, which is there's 18,208 in 2021, and they increased in 2022 to 20,196. And then in 2023, there's 22,208. So we have an upward trajectory of divorces. They are in the ranges from 18 to 20 to 22.
18, 20, 22. That's an increase.
That's an increase,
right?
yes.
Between year 2021, 2020, 2020 up to 2023. So in those 4 years, people were getting married. The numbers were going up. Is that
so with the marriages that happened between these periods, 2021 to 2023,
there was an increase.
18, 20, 22, right? So there are high divorce rates.
The divorce
rates were increasing. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's crude divorce rate. Crude is a number per given proportion, like in 100,000.
Okay, hold on. I think I misunderstood you. Your initial point, was it divorce or getting married?
Divorces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I take it back. I think I was thinking you started with marriages.
Yeah, no.
But divorces were increasing.
Increased over the three-year period, right?
And you must remember, during that period, there was pandemic as well. So people had to spend more than...
We are getting there, by the way.
Okay.
And to see the divorce that happened...
the rate of divorces during the pandemic. Okay, that's right.
Before and after.
Right.
So, the crude divorce rate, crude means it's a number against a given proportion of population. So 100,000 in 2022, we had 33, right? 33, for every 100,000 there were 33 divorces. For every 100,000 in 2023 there were 36. That gives you a little bit of sense.
That's a high percentage.
Yeah. So with that crude is that then let's go to age. Right? Where divorces are happening in the age bracket.
Yeah, it's a 14.
In the marriage. The first 5 year marriage, 10 year, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 29 to 25. So as people get older, right, the divorce rates decrease. The separation goes down. Under the 5-year period, there's 15.1% divorce rates. Right? Under the 10-year period, there's like 42%. So between 0 and 10, there's a lot of divorce happening. So after the 5th year, so 5th year to 10 year, and there's a lot happening.
So can you see, in relevance to your point, which you need 10 things in addition to sexuality that will sustain this marriage.
You need to put, there are things that you need to put at the back seat.
Mamela, 10 years with the same person. It's not a child's play. It's not a child's play.
I feel for women because we have our own clumsiness that we come with in the marriage. Clumsy, from hygiene. Men are very sluggish. I wanna you see sometimes. You know what what's my contribution in my marriage?
Positive or negative?
positive.
Yeah.
My hygiene levels are okay. My wife could maybe say, nah, she maybe could probably give me a 6.
Give you a 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. But toilet seats, she can definitely give me a 10.
Which way is?
And clean.
Oh,
every time.
Oh, we clean.
Yeah, there's a small piece of toilet paper.
Yeah.
As they also now have their toilet paper to
wipe themselves.
Yeah, I mean I wipe the seat.
Oh, when you wipe
every
the
time.
seats. Oh.
Even my youngster does that now voluntarily. But if after when you whip your thing, when you shake your thing, there will be.
I always
flying around.
I always sit only if I'm doing the other.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing the other,
number one.
Yeah. Number one, I always put both the cover and the what do you call that sit thing?
Yeah.
What do you call it? I don't know the name.
Yeah.
I always put it up.
Yeah.
So that after.
But still, you are going to mess up the toilet.
I'm telling myself I'm being safe. Which when she comes to use the toilet.
I'm just saying that's my contribution.
Okay.
Hygiene is not only grooming, looking after yourself. It's just to keep the household clean.
Yeah, hygiene is very important.
Very important.
Very.
Menagim is number one in the list.
No, hygiene.
You can miss everything, not hygiene.
Yeah, hygiene, and you see, in your situation, it's even worse because children absorb everything you do. They watch.
Yeah. They copy.
Yeah. So if you teach,
you lack, you will pass.
If you lack, you are passing on a bad habit.
Yes. So I'm raising.
So we are raising.
Is it OCD? When you are too.
When you are too particular.
Yeah. I'm raising OCD kids. Literally, Banami doesn't want mess at all. Smelling.
Yeah.
But it's fine as long as the hygiene standards are high.
No, hygiene standards have to be high.
Done.
Yeah, they have
so
to be high.
Coming back to the STEM.
Coming back to the STEM.
10 to 14 years is 21%. Remember, 5 to 10 it was 42. The highest is in there. Within the first 5-10 years, there's high divorce rates, 42%. 10 to 14, 21.
It's going down now.
15 to 19, 14. 20 to 24 years of being together, it drops. As you age, you compromise, you bend backwards, you understand, you gradually move from ugly to bad.
So would I be correct to say once you've been married for 10 years together, chances are after 10 years you'll be on a cruise phase?
Generally speaking.
Yeah. Because those stats are giving me that understanding. If you have a high divorce rate within the 10 years, so the 10,
with deliberate and conscious efforts to understand the bad before it turns ugly. To understand that there are things that you don't.
I'm anti-ugly as okay, let's continue here because
the divorce rates pattern is that just around over in 2024, 2020, 2013, they were very low. They were just in between, just above the range of 16,000. Let's say 16 and a half, right? In 24, they increased to almost 17, just 16.8 or 16.9, 16,000. And then in 2015, they dropped a little bit, 16 and a half maybe, almost to that part. In 2016, they increased to almost 17.9.
Can I ask something just out of interest? Who was our president in 2016?
2008 to 2016. I think I'm going to say transition.
Let's just verify.
Transition. 2014 it was Zuma. It was a transition between Zuma and Ramaphosa. Just check. So while he's still checking, on 2016 they went up by a great margin from 2013 to almost 16.7. 17,800, 900. And then 2017 they increased with just small margins. 2018 small margins, and they spiked up with 2019 to almost 19,000 or 18.9. Who was the president?
It was that transition Yaga Zuma to Ramaphosa.
Yeah. Funny enough, 2020, COVID, they dropped just around 14. It's the lowest of all time.
During COVID, divorces were at its lowest.
The institutions were closed.
Yeah, those stats. Those stats are based.
The institutions. There was no lawyer.
I know, man. Those stats.
No. The divorce did not happen. The reason for them not happening is that part of the institutions to
monitor,
to assist,
to get stats and help the process,
to assist with divorcing, fighting them.
Yeah.
So you had to really hold on, and we're pretty much occupied by the pandemic.
Yes.
So
the pandemic was you had to stomach whatever.
Yeah. Because after 2021,
look what happened.
It went back to 18,000 immediately. 2022 it went to 20,000.
In less than 2 years.
In 2023 it went to almost 22,000. So in the 3 years,
that drop was artificial.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
it was
unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah. So it's basically that, and then let's come to disaggregation by population. Disaggregation. It's then appropriation. In counting, there's counting. We are not talking about the, what do we call it? The crude rate. So there's counting and there's crude rate. Crude rate, remember, is a number against population. So the counting is that black Africans, between black Africans, whites, colored, and Indians, is that we have 55.6%, which is 12,000. It accounts for that in 2023. It's 55.6 accounts for the all divorce that happened in 2023. It's from black Africans, right? Whites, it's 19.5. Coloreds, it's 15.1, and Indians or Asians, it's 4.1.
Yeah, the Indians have the lowest rate of
besides it's proportion to our population, to our size in the count fact.
Yeah, we have
so the more of us than you should expect. Somehow there's a relationship with that, because then if you go to then the crude with measuring with the crude, the whites take the first. There's 95 per 100,000, and there's 63 coloreds per 100,000. There's Indians, there's 57 per 100,000, and blacks, there's 24 per 100,000. So blacks have the lowest rate of divorce.
In actual fact.
Here's the interesting part. Here's my punchline. If I was delivering
look, to me it makes sense. It makes sense because look at the tolerance level of blacks.
But no, before I got to the desktop, if you were to ask me, I would say we have the highest divorce rate than compared to whites. And I did not have this measurement, a crude rate measurement. Okay. I had the count. Remember the count, if you count the volumes, the quantities. So we have more numbers from the blacks because there's many of us. But if you say for every 100,000 blacks, you'll see which we have 24.
Yeah, no, look, on the different races which are non-black, it's hectic, Baba.
Look at the whites and colors. It's high.
Is that too? So go whites. It's Duma even worse.
It was an interesting discovery, man.
Look,
to be quite honest,
I had the pleasure to be exposed to captains, and when we talk generally with them, 90% of the captains in the airline I work for were divorced, and their marriage was transactional. The woman was seeing a retirement potential when they get married to them, because the settlements obviously should take a portion of his retirement and all of that.
Yes.
So as in now, more captains in the airline industry are avoiding marriage because of the history of that historical reality.
They are missing out. But again, here's another reverse. Here's another window.
They are missing out.
Yeah, they are worried about money. That's the problem. Do your social duties. That's social responsibility.
No, look, Mina, I understand.
I'm saying working and giving money out, it's a social responsibility.
The dynamic is different for captains because if you are home 4 months, let me give you just a simple, straightforward example.
Nice.
You are home 4 days a month, once a week.
What do you expect?
What do you expect?
Apart from that,
there is no way you can balance it, Buff.
No, you don't have to balance it.
You can't.
You must sharpen your selection process. So when you're a captain, you choose right. You don't go for beauty and
you go for
aesthetics.
Loyalty.
Don't go for aesthetics.
Yeah.
Put aesthetics and then go for loyalty.
When you subtract reality, is me.
Yeah. So you must date like a blind person. Date with the heart. So you don't look and say this one is gorgeous. There's no, you won't pass.
Yeah.
So here's another window. Between 5 and 9 years. Ne?
Yeah.
Blacks has the highest divorce rate in the first 10
years. In the first 10 years.
Yeah, by 27.9. Ne? And colors 26.1. Ama whites 25.9 in the first 10 years. So we are more prone to give up. Yeah.
To give up.
Then we come to another window. How are children affected by race? They say 20,687 children get affected under 18 by divorce. That's in 2023, right? 61.4% of black children is affected by divorce. 15.7% coloreds, 14.7%. 3.2. What I'm getting from this is that we are more ravished by divorce than any other race, especially from,
which makes sense to me.
Yeah, from children perspective, you know. And then let's go to age.
After 40.
Yeah, the peak is between 25 and 39. And then I'm a males 46, I'm a females 42. So the 40s
women at their 40s
are a red zone.
They go through a lot.
Yeah,
Naturally we also go through a lot.
It's midlife. They attribute it to midlife. Midlife crisis issues really get the best of us.
Yeah.
The 40s are a red zone for divorce.
That's another good topic we need to have actually. The advantages and disadvantages of midlife crisis.
I don't see any advantages, but we'll find out. So yeah, duration 5 to 10, and then let's go by province, right? Which province between the metros do you think it has high level of divorce? Can you guess?
Yeah.
Sort them out by top 3.
I would say Gauteng is the highest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I would say Cape Town would be second.
Yeah.
And then number 3, I would have the Eastern Cape. And then I would say number 4 is Devon. And then
Yeah, just stop right there. You are very close. Your number 1 is correct, number 2 is correct, number 3 is KZN. And all these 3 provinces, they constitute, or they are responsible for 60.2% of the divorce that happened in 2023. So the urban space is volatile.
Yeah, urban space is very.
It's a
danger.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of our let's go to the 1 minute pitch.
Yeah, 1 minute pitch.
So I'm saying what marriage is not, right? Let me get my so can I start now?
Yes.
Yeah. There is what marriage is not. Marriage is not a factory to produce happiness. So if you go there to think that's where you must find happiness, you've got a serious problem. You don't know what's coming for you. And marriage is also not a place to it's not a maker of satisfying selfish and narrow interest. You want to be treated like a king, you want to be respected, or you want to be the brightest bulb in the auditorium, you want to be the queen, the world and the sun must revolve around you, and that kind of shit. Marriage is definitely, in my view, not that. It's got very little to do with really putting you on the pedestal. Marriage benefits the children, and I think it's meant for that, and it should be about them. And if they're not there, it's then find a way to then substitute. Thank you. Don't be thinking about what you said. Listen to me.
I'm listening to you. Would you talk about what marriage is not?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about what marriage is.
You're summarizing.
I'm summarizing my...
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
In my view, marriage is an institution that gives you an opportunity of so many possibilities of growth, so many possibilities of discipline, so many possibilities of inner peace, most importantly. And marriage gives you an opportunity to understand yourself even better than you were when you were not married. So it is an institution that requires people to sort out their inner self, because a marriage with a person who has inner peace is easily managed than a marriage of people who do not have inner peace and who have not done their own introspection about their own identity. And it is also good for the society. It's also good for progression. It's also good for kids. Kids who grew up in a loving family, mother and father, tend to be better individuals in society.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, we were just reinforcing.
Yeah, it was just a reinforcement.
Yeah, no, then my take home...
yes, what's your take home?
My take home is this conversation has triggered the interest in saying, what should I teach my son or my daughter in terms of being a value to their partners, right? So I thought, okay, the first thing to teach is to select. Because if you select wrong, doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter really how you go about things. And wrong selection is the selection of, is choosing people who are not, you see, when people say, don't change me, I have a problem with that. I don't want to change you. I want to change me. Make me a better person. How do I become a better person if I don't change? If I don't rewire myself.
I agree.
If I don't unlearn and learn.
Yeah.
So change is very important.
It's the number one thing. And I've always heard people who say, I'm not here to change you. You must be here to change me. And change is enhancement. It's not to say compromise your values. I'm not saying stop going to church.
I mean, you still have a choice.
Yeah.
In the change I bring, you still have a choice to say, learn me phone, learn
you still can change. Change. So first is take home is that kids, I mean my offspring must, when they get into this thing, they must know how to choose, and they must be very sharp in choosing. So the best way to choose people is to give them tasks. Whether it's a friend, it's a business partner, the first thing you do if you want to see people if you've got high work ethics, maybe let's say for an example, right, and you prioritize that. So the people that you want to work with, they must get tasks. As a female, you ask your boyfriend to say, look, I'm doing this, can you please do me research on XYZ? See how long it takes, see the quality of research that they want to do, and see if they like doing it, and see if they're going to present it well. It's an example. There are many things. There are many responsibilities you can give to someone. Give them responsibility, they will show you who they are. So, and then if you choose right, the rest I think becomes then, or we leave it to Mother Nature to take care of. Because if your choices are right in terms of choosing people that could enhance and make you a better version of yourself, because that's all you need, and you can have best experiences, and I think you must have in life. Jordan Peterson
about life,
about having an extraordinary life, adventure.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have experiences and have the greatest adventure about life, because that's basically boils down to that. So that's basically my take home.
Yeah, my take home is that marriage. Actually, this was my first time
going deeper into research in something related to marriage.
Yeah.
I've known what I've known because of personal experience, but now I've realized that marriage is actually a mirror of social values that exist within
True story.
a particular space.
Yeah.
And a marriage, because there's love involved, is share everyone across the border, blacks, white, colored, Indian. Love affects and marriage affects everyone. So therefore, I am going to, as my take home, I am going to first create enough awareness to myself about the importance of recovering from the past traumas, because they have its own way of coming back. After the stats
And altering your behavior.
after looking at these states that you've given me now, then I realized, because I still want to marry again, I never got a chance to enjoy my marriage and have it last long. Unfortunately, I was naive and immature, but issue for another day. Take home, inner peace, Bafu. My inner peace will help me to achieve the next marriage.
Yeah, you don't go into marriage and look for peace. It's not a factor
No.
of producing
It's
peace.
not a factor for peace. You must have your own.
You go there to share.
You go there to share
Peace.
and
Peaceful environment.
and expand.
Yeah.
Danko.
So yes, man. Yeah, we can descend.
Yes. Before we do our descent, we would like to announce what our next destination is, which is TM017. That would be, how can we use social media effectively?
You know why I find that interesting? Ne?
I find it very interesting.
Here's why.
Okay.
From my side.
Yeah.
We are going to find out. It's not going to come from what we think. We want to mix there are things that there's a perception that I had, and I've come to realize that it is not lending. You know? Social media, it's a very dynamic space, and it's got its own life, I've realized, and it can surprise you and disappoint you at the same time based on your expectations. You might expect, for an example, if you come with an attitude with what we are doing should fly, and then social media proves you otherwise, you'll be demoralized and demotivated.
And that's not how life works.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Very interesting.
It will also make us become aware of things that we've never considered before the destination, that we've never really went deep into them from a as you would normally say, information that is credible.
Yes.
From a credible approach, you know, verifiable.
Verifiable. Yes.
Yeah.
So before we descend, I've had my moral clarity on this topic, which makes me very excited. Please fasten your seatbelt, put your seat in an upright position, close overhead storages as we descend, and thank you for your time. We are on the destination of independent thinking, and we're looking forward to the next flight with us.
We always do, or ask, do you know what to do? Traditional things. If we qualify, just do it, and we'll do this until we qualify. And if we don't know, it's okay. We will then, lift up our sleeves and our socks and do better. Gulogo, say, City.